Hey guys, my name's Andrew and I'm one of the co-founders here at Code Ventures, and today I'll be bringing you another video tutorial on how to use variables in Scratch. So for this video, I'll be teaching you how to make a login system. So that will include a way to make a username and password, and also a way to make Scratchy determine if that username and password is correct or incorrect. So this login system is this is a basic form of the login system. You can see login systems on many different sites. For example, a couple examples are Google, Instagram, and YouTube. You can use login systems basically on most apps that involve an account. So, so for this example, I'm going to be using two event statements. One is going to be used for when you make the password and username, and the other is going to be used when you try to enter the password username. So in this case, I'll be using the when blank key is pressed because I feel like this is the most simplest event statement that could be used. So for one of them, I'm going to set the key to be pressed as space, and this one I'll make it as my username and password creating button. And for the other button, I'll make it down arrow, and this will be basically to run the code to determine if the login credentials are correct. So first, we're going to be working on creating your login credentials. So for this, we're going to go into the sensing area, and you'll need this block. This will basically make Scratchy ask a question or whatever you put in this box. So for this, we're going to be putting, what is your new username? Question mark. And we're also going to be needing this answer block. And basically, when you run this code, you're going to see that it's going to prompt this text box that you can input an answer on. And and whatever you put in here will be transferred into this variable. So obviously, this variable will be changing as you enter your username or password. So we're going to need two other variables. So right here, you can see this is the variables page, and this is where you can make your own variables. And we're just going to click this button. So we're going to need one variable for username and the other variable for password. And as you make these variables, you'll see them right here. And this is also how you'll find out which variables are active. And I can deactivate variables by unchecking the boxes right here. So the next block we're going to need is set my variable to blank. And for this example, since we're creating the login information, this is going to set the username variable that we just created to the answer that we're going to input when we press space. So you put that right here, and we're going to need to duplicate this because there needs to be two things that Scratchy needs to ask. What is your new username and what is your new password? So the second one will be password. And the second part of this we'll change this to password, the other variable that we created. And obviously as you answer a different question, this variable will change. So this aligns up. So let's test it out. What is your new username? I'll do Code Ventures, for example. And we'll enter that. And as we see, our answer changes to Code Ventures, and also the username changes to Code Ventures. So that's how we know it's working. And for password, we'll do 123. And there we go. So we have a different password and username. So now that this part's done, we'll have to work on with the login system. So this will be similar to like when you actually press in a login button and whether your login credentials will be accepted by the system or not. So for the key press for the login button, we're going to need a sensing block, and this is going to be identical to the one that we used over here. So basically this is going to ask what is our username, and I'll change that right now. and this will pull up a text block, and we're going to need this answer block again to grab whatever we put here into here. So after it records the answer, basically we'll go over here into our control blocks and use an if statement, and then we're going to need a conditional statement within the if statement for the if statement to work. So for this example, we're going to be using operators, one of the operator blocks. And basically, you're going to be using operator blocks whenever you're doing something logical or math related. So for this example, we're going to be needing this block and this block. So basically, what these two blocks do is this is basically sets whatever's within this block the opposite, and this one determines whether the variable on the left side is equal to the variable on the right side. So first, we're going to be putting in this, the not statement, and then we're going to put this in here. And so for this example, we're going to be comparing whether the answer that we put in for the username is equal to the username variable that we have over here. So we're going to be setting the answer variable equal to the username variable, which can be dragged from the variables page since you already created it. And basically, what this code is going to say is if this, whatever we put in right here, is not equal to the username that we already have because we have this block, then whatever under is going to happen. So